Hello, YouTube! This is the third time I've said that tonight.
Microphone on YouTube?
Yeah, we're doing the last chapter of Guardians of Magic that is currently out. Finally getting the backlog out of the way. So happy about that.
Ooh, backlog on.
Yeah. So, this is Chapter 10, Travel Plans.
Mine is the disclaimer that will pierce the heavens. For the Alliance!
Yeah. Best disclaimer yet, in my opinion.
Real ID, in case any pony wants to add me, either whether they're playing StarCraft 2, Diablo 3, or World of Warcraft. I'm knightsofdulamroth@gmail.com, all one word. If you need spelling, look at the chapter.
I don't play any of these games, and you just advertised them on my channel.
I just advertised that if you want to add me as a friend and chat with me while you're playing any of them, here's my email address.
He's a great guy. If you are going to add him, you will not regret it. He might, but you won't.
I won't regret it. I was once farming for a specific item for a couple of hours, and another brony that's in our Edmonton 18-plus brony group was playing, and he was doing another rep grind for another faction, different server, of course, but he was doing another rep grind in the same general area, and we were chatting for about 2 hours and going, man, this is boring. Rep grinding sucks, but the reward is worth it.
Okay. Twilight paced nervously up and down the platform of the Canterlot train station, casting a worried glance towards the entrance every 10 seconds exactly. Every pony else was watching the entrance with some apprehension as well. Though Rainbow Dash and Spike were both somewhat amused that Twilight's hooves had already ground a 2-millimeter groove into the platform. That's pretty impressive. Kyrie yawned loudly, leaning against her cult friend's side. Sora didn't appear to be too awake and aware either, as he was half dozing, just standing there in Celestia's sunlight. Rarity sure is late, the pink Pegasus murmured. Train leaves in, 10 minutes. I didn't feel like mimicking a yawn, because I'm not good at that.
You can't mimic a yawn.
I do yawn, but I do not understand how,
how to mimic it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are you so tired, Rainbow asked. It's not Rainbow Dash, it's just Rainbow there. Whatever. I thought you guys went to bed earlier than the rest of us. Riku snorted.
They had a late-night date in the gardens.
He grumbled. He rapped Sora's head hard, and the other Keyblade master jolted. I'm up! Ow, he yelped, rubbing his skull. Yeah, getting hit on the head with a horse's hoof does not sound like an enjoyable experience. He shot Riku a dirty look. What was that for?
Next time you sneak out with your girlfriend for a midnight moonlight meandering in a menagerie, take your key with you!
It was a sculpture garden, not a menagerie, Sora muttered darkly.
Same thing.
What do you suppose is taking Rarity so long? Ray asked, looking up at all the grown-ups. Could she have slept in? No, Ray, Applejack answered. Blah! How I get answer confused. Applejack answered. Your brother and his little silly friend over there are the ones who fought getting up this morning. I resent being called little, Kyrie retorted with a tired voice. Twilight ceased her pacing and turned towards the group of Spike, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, Applejack, Trixie, Pinkie Pie, Sora, Riku, Kyrie, and Ray. That's quite a group.
No, it's not. You ain't seen nothing yet.
The thing is the length of some of the names. Like Rainbow Dash.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It appeared as though every pony except the two in a relationship had gotten a good night's rest. So a nap on the train was probably in the cards as far as those two Pegasi cared. Rarity wasn't in her room when we went to wake her up this morning, Twilight answered the filly, and there wasn't time for us to comb the entire castle looking for her. Wouldn't she be with Princess Luna? Fluttershy asked. She did mention that she was going to try and find her about the dress the princess took your measurements for. I hope she's with Luna, Twilight replied, but we haven't heard a word from her or Rarity, so all we can do is hope that Rarity hasn't been full-napped. Why would some pony want to try to full-nap Rarity right out of a suite in Camelot Castle? Pinkie Pie asked. She's not even a foal anymore. Twilight shook her head. I don't know. There weren't any signs of forced entry or a struggle, and no Norts or ransom demands. In fact, it didn't even look as though Rarity had been in... Thank you. Yeah. Pinkie Pie and Rainbow both laughed. Good one, Spike. Rainbow Dash chortled while the baby dragon picked up the scroll that emerged from the green fire he'd belched. A moment later, the scroll had left his claw in the grasp of Twilight's magenta levitation spell. She unfurled it and began pacing anew while reading the letter aloud. Dear Twilight, I am sorry that this letter is so late, but due to circumstances I will be unable to return to Ponyville with you and the others. My deepest apologies, but Luna and I are working on creating something absolutely marvelous for yourself and Trixie. I would say more, but that would spoil the surprise, and the princess has forbidden me from telling you. Please give my apologies to Sweetie Belle, and let her know that I will be home in a few days. Now that I think about it, could you and the others be absolute darlings and look after her in opalescence for me? I don't need the shop to burn down while our parents are vacationing in Manhattan. Yours, Rarity. P.S. Tell Kyrie that I'm deeply sorry that I won't get to show her my shop personally or take her to the spa. She can take anything she wants off the rack as a gift from me, but any more than 3 items and I'll have to charge her half price for the whole lot, else I might not make my monthly expenses. That's nice of her, Kyrie purred, still leaning against Sora's side. I'll have to thank her in person when we see her again. And that explains where she is, Trixie said brightly. She flinched at the snort Rainbow Dash sent in her direction. What? Trixie was only expressing her relief. Look, pal, Rainbow growled. Twilight may have forgiven you, and Sora and his band may think you're all right, but that stunt you pulled in Ponyville isn't water under the bridge just yet, as far as I'm concerned. You want to spawn this team, you're going to have to earn it.
Actually,
Riku said firmly as he took a few paces to stand between the Azure Unicorn and Cyan Pegasus.
Trixie here has a Keyblade and is one of the Guardians, so she's already got a spot on the team whether she wants it or not. You're just our escort, Rainbow Dash.
Rainbow gazed at the unicorn in total bewilderment for a few seconds, her mind unable to grasp the concept that some pony was actually defending Trixie, of all ponies, against her. Riku took the opportunity to glance at the mare he'd come to the defense of, and was surprised to find that she immediately looked away. A tinge of red appeared on Trixie's cheeks, and it looked as though she was finding it hard to meet his gaze. I sense foreshadowing.
Do you?
Even if it's not like a relationship, Trixie's definitely going to have a crush on him.
Well, he just stood up for her. Check 1. He's hot. Check 2. Does she need any more reason?
Not to mention he's a badass.
She has not seen him as a badass yet.
Yes, true, but he is a badass.
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for standing up for Trixie, she whispered, her eyes darting back and forth between his and the ground.
You're a Keyblade wielder now.
Riku answered with a smile.
And we look after each other.
He looked over at Sora, Kyrie, and Ray, and then back at Trixie.
Yep, we look after each other. We're just one big old family. Us and Mickey, and now you, Twilight, and Zelda are part of it too.
Well, Spike spoke up before any pony else could say anything. He grabbed Twilight's tail and gave it a small yank, enough to attract her attention. Now that we know where Rarity is, don't you think we should board the train before it leaves us? You're right, Spike, Twilight said, slowly easing out of her earlier anxiety. She rubbed his head affectionately for a moment, then looked at her friends. Come on, every pony. You heard the dragon. That sounds like a good idea, Carrie mumbled in agreement. She flapped her wings once and thrust herself off the ground towards the train. There. Come on, Sora, she said, idly stroking up and down to keep her body aloft. She nodded and similarly took off with a quick angled downstroke and a small hop into the air. While the two Pegasi fluttered towards the train, every pony else was simply floored. Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy had to get Applejack to physically push their jaws back up into place. Twilight pointed a trembling hoof out towards the air, her mind firing blanks as she tried to form her coherent questions. But flying out, not possible? I like how you put the question mark after not possible. Just that little touch. Possible? Just that little touch.
Well, like, she's seeing it. She can't really believe that she's seeing it. Like, that's not possible, is it?
Yeah. It's like the pinky sense. You can't explain it. Except I'm sure that eventually it will be explained.
I don't think it ever will be explained. I don't think you can explain it.
No, not the pinky sense.
Oh, you mean this? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, this will be explained.
Yeah.
But not right now. And not to this day. And not to you listeners either. You won't know.
Nope.
I'll just give you something. It involves birds. Wrap your head around that. I just killed your brain.
Yes, you did. I just spent like a good, I'm not sure how many seconds that was, just thinking, that's literally it.
It's like, it involves birds.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
How does that make any sense? Anyways.
Sora dropped to the ground right outside one of the cars first and glanced back at the group, none of them having moved a muscle to join him and Kyrie in boarding the train. What's the matter? How are you flying? Rainbow Dash screamed before she could stop herself. You couldn't even get off the ground to hover yesterday, and this morning you're up in the air like it's nothing at all. She stomped down on the platform, and several there swore internally that they had heard the wooden boards creaking underneath her hoof. I don't know, Kyrie answered sincerely, her eyes going wide and blinking rapidly at the realization of their feet suddenly dawned upon her. When I woke up this morning, my wings just felt a lot better and stronger, I suppose. Same here, Sora answered, though he didn't sound very unsure or perturbed by it. No biggie. If it means I can fly, then I'll take it. Spike watched Rainbow Dash's face with fascination as Sora and Kyrie boarded the train. The muscles governing her eyes appeared out of control, like somebody was striking a drum for them to move, but the drummer had no sense of rhythm whatsoever. You look a little upset, Spike said. Upset? Rainbow Dash gasped. I'm way more than upset. I'm angry. Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy whispered. Maybe we should board the train? I mean, I spend years training, but busting my wings off for hours of flight practice every day. Or every single day. And then here they are, showing up with utterly useless wings one day, and then they're flying like they've been doing it their entire lives the next. It's not fair. Every pony backed away from Rainbow Dash as she glared at the train, snorting loudly. Her stance reminded her friends of the buffalo preparing to charge Appaloosa, with all the trampling of delectable apple pies included. Quietly, cautiously, the others tread around her and boarded the train with Trixie in the lead. It wasn't until every pony else was aboard that Rainbow realized she'd been left behind. Hey, wait up! It's like, the buffaloes aren't referenced enough.
No, over a barrel isn't referenced enough.
Yeah.
Besides the couple people that reference Braybird, like Little Strongheart and Appaloosa. And
Steam rose from a mug, filling the immediate area with the aroma of hot coffee that already permeated the room from the large pot beside the mug. Energized green eyes with spiral pupils left the screen they had been staring at to settle on the mug filled with the life-giving, sleep-warding nectar of the gods. Two
Coffee.
tiny... Yes. Two
which
tiny...
I do not drink.
I drank coffee once in my life, and it was when I was 2. You can guess how that went. Two tiny gloved hands grasped the mug from the sides, appearing as though their owner was attempting to hug the mug. And they lifted and tilted the cup down so that one small mouth could take a sip. Honey-brown liquid with inexplicable reddish tones poured past the minuscule teeth and into a tiny throat with alarming paste. Paste!
You said paste.
I said paste.
Oh.
But the liquid flowed down smoothly. The coffee mug returned to its spot beside the console with a clink as it was put back down with half the liquid gone, revealing the chipper face of a young girl with long, untamed blonde hair and a thick blue headband. A red scarf wrapped around her neck, transitioning to orange and yellow along its length and unfolding like the wings of a phoenix. A simple yellow sleeveless top that bared her midriff accompanied the scarf, along with detached white sleeves running from her wrist to just past her elbow. A cute orange miniskirt with yellow bows, white thigh-high socks, and overlarge white and blue platform boots completed her ensemble. Ah, the girl sighed, stretching her arms behind her as she took a couple of steps back from the coffee cup. That hits the spot. She turned away from the cup that was barely her height and lied down in front of the screen, humming a little ditty she made up on the spot. She waved her tiny legs and feet in the air behind her. Okay now. Where are you guys? You can't hide from us forever, Sora, even if you do want to sneak off with Kyrie when nobody's looking. She continued to hum idly to herself and popped up into the air a few seconds later. The fairy tiptoed on keys with the toes of her platform boots as she fluttered around on the keyboard, and finished with a pronounced touchdown on the Enter key. The screen in front of her expanded its view to reveal a large grid, and suddenly highlighted a section of the grid and zoomed in. A progress bar appeared in the center of the screen. Now scanning sector Beta Tango 51. A feminine voice announced. It sourced the computer itself. Here's hoping it's this one. Hopefully, the fairy agreed, dropping back from the keyboard to seat her tushy on a yellow pillow, sized just for her, at the edge of the console while she watched the progress bar fill. She grabbed her mug of coffee again. A whoosh noise entered her ears, but did nothing to get her to cease her drinking. She put down the mug a few seconds later, now only a quarter of the cup remaining. Just where she was packing away all that coffee when the cup was bigger than her was anybody's guess. She looked up. Morning, everyone. Morning, Riku, spelled with 2 Ks. Another fairy, this one with short mocha hair, except for the long tail of it bound by a red elastic tube with a winged golden cap, and mismatched eyes of green and blue wearing an outfit of white and blue greeted. Found them yet? Riku shook her head. Not yet, Yuna. We've been scanning all night and no dice so far, but I know we're close. I can feel it. You said that when you were on the 5th sector yesterday. The final fairy of the trio, a silver-haired, Gothic-styled one with a black bat wing protruding from her back and sporting sharp red eyes, reminded her. So what, Pain? Riku asked. I still haven't lost my spirit. I know we're close. A large duck in a zippered blue jacket walked over to the console Riku, with 2 Ks, was sitting at.
I think they've realized by now that it's Riku.
With 2 Ks.
Yeah, I think they've realized that by now, that it's little fairy Riku from KH2.
Yes. I just felt like doing that because I could.
Just wait till we get to Riku and Riku in the same room.
Oh, God. That's going to be so confusing.
It's going to be so awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome to write. Awesome to read. Confusing to say.
Riku, Twilight, and Riku all in the same room. They're all connected to each other, and like Riku indirectly though. What Riku with 1K indirectly though.
Yeah.
Like Twilight has the same voice actor as Riku with 2K.
Yeah. That's gonna be awesome because Riku and Twilight are gonna sound the same, and Riku have the same name, so it's gonna be like Riku speaking, but they think Twilight's speaking, and then someone says Riku, and both Rikus look. It's gonna be great to write.
I am so looking forward to that. Like. That possibly might be the most, the thing I'm most looking forward to now. Okay. There were only 3 consoles in the room, which was actually the bridge of the Highwind, the very same gummy ship Sora had traveled in on his adventures. Donald looked at the coffee Riku had been drinking. "Are you sure it's not the coffee?" he asked. "Pretty sure," Riku chirped. "It's just my spunk and youthful vitality." Mika came next to Donald and peered into the mug, then the pot, and then the mug again.
Riku, why does the coffee look a little red?
The female voice that had earlier emanated from the computer answered, "It's probably that bottle of Bordeaux she's been cutting the coffee with all night." The king's eyes widened.
"You drank the Bordeaux?"
he gasped.
"I'd been saving that to give Minnie for our anniversary present this year." Yuck. I told you that we shouldn't have given it on the Highwind, that you shouldn't have hidden it on the Highwind, King Mickey.
Goofy chortled.
Something like that was bound to happen, considering everybody we've been picking up. Napa, Goofy.
I had almost forgotten about that.
Now you remember.
It was only a few hours ago, and I already almost forgot. And just what is that supposed to mean? Payne asked coolly, glancing at Goofy.
"Well, Riku's old enough to drink now, and I'm sure Princess Zelda wouldn't mind a glass of wine now and again, and without their parents around, Sora and Kairi might try to sneak something here and there too, so that they can get a little intimate and do the nasty when we're not."
You and your ad-libbing. You and your ad-libbing.
I'm doing Napa voice. Goofy can speak out of character. Wow, Vegeta, I didn't think you'd be that stupid.
Just continue. Just continue.
I'm not speaking with Don's voice in Napa voice. I'm not doing Don in Napa voice.
Yeah, you didn't say. I figured it would be obvious.
Oh, I figured it would be obvious. Wait, yes I did. You were
You didn't.
You were laughing too much to hear it.
That's very possible. So I'd better think twice about piloting me manually if he's had a few. The voice coming from the computer snapped. And that goes double for Riku. Scan of sector Beta Tango 51 complete. Negative trace. A young woman with pale skin, pointed ears, and braids of long brown hair sighed. "Still nothing, then," said Princess Zelda of Hyrule, even as Riku started dancing out the sequence of keys to begin scanning the next sector. She glanced at her companion, a young man who appeared to be the same age as her, roughly at 20, garbed in a green tunic and hat as opposed to her regal crown. "Do you think they're all right, Link?" Now scanning sector Beta Tango 52. Link opened his mouth to speak, but another answered. "I'm pretty sure they're fine," Midna interrupted. The Twilight Imp of black, white, and electric blue casually petting Kyrie's pet Tonkinese kitten, Orville, while leaning against Link's head from her resting perch on his shoulder. They're a lot tougher than they look. Orville leaned his head back, stretching out his neck while Midna curled a finger underneath his platinum mink-furred chin. He purred, and Midna's face melted underneath the massive fused shadow that she used as a partial helmet. Aw, who's a good kitty? You are, Orville. Yes, you are. Kyrie had nothing to worry about.
Nope, she didn't.
In fact, quite the opposite. I sure hope we find them soon, Donald said, looking forlornly at his king. Mickey placed a hand on his friend's shoulder.
Don't worry, Donald.
Yeah, right, you're reading Mickey. He assured him.
We'll find him. That portal may have sent them anywhere, but you know Sora. He'll be fine no matter where he is. Just you wait. When we find him, Riku, Kyrie, and Ray, they'll have made a bunch of new friends and be perfectly...
Love Shack! Crowed the female voice coming from the computer. You're coming back to the little old place where we can get together, Riku. I've found you. Daddy always told me Beta 52 was my lucky number. Goofy gave the console a look of pleasant surprise.
Gosh, Don, I didn't know Tron gave you a lucky number.
Well, it is now. The artificial intelligence program, Don giggled. So where are they? Yuna asked, zipping up to hover near Riku and look at the screen. The blonde fairy took another swig of her coffee, almost finishing the cup while she was at it. Let me take a look, she said. Riku made a belly flop onto a mouse and started dragging it around so she could double-click on the bleeping dot pulsing within the target sector. It says here that they're on a backwater world in the middle of Nowheresville called Equestria.
Equestria?
King Mickey asked. He shook his head when everybody looked at him.
I've never heard of it before. Don, do you know anything about it?
The files my father gave me offer no data on Equestria, Don replied. However, the data we acquired from the Chaser Librum on Milanus does have a little information on it.
Librum and Milanus.
Yeah.
I know what it looks like, but Milanus sounds better than Milanus.
Yes, it does. And I didn't realize why until you pointed it out just now.
Yes, the same Milanus.
Yes, I will remember to do that should it pop up in the future, and it's probably going to pop up in the future.
Yeah.
What's it say? Donald asked. All right, here it goes. I'll warn you, though. This is the most recent information the Chasers had on Equestria before they collapsed, and it's dated 1100 years ago. This is a long paragraph. I'm going to take a deep breath before starting this. Looks like No Pony felt the place was worth going to after that. She made a show of clearing her throat for a few seconds, and Donald rolled his eyes. Obviously, she was even fonder of users than Tron was. Equestria, a large world diverse in its regions and inhabitants. Of the 3 continents, there appears to be only one truly unified and peaceful country, Equestria, ruled by the Royal Sisters, Her Royal Highness Princess Celestia and Princess Luna. Equestria, the country, is easily the dominant power in the world, due to, in no small part, their rulers. These immortal beings raise and lower their world's sun and moon daily through the uses of their great magical power while ruling over their subjects. Their great power alone seems to be enough of a deterrent to keep external threats at bay. The world is, as of yet, insufficiently studied, but also appears to be remote and peaceful enough that interworld trouble should leave it unharmed. Undue attention to Equestria should be avoided so as to preserve its peace. That's all there is. Sounds like they took that suggestion to heart, Payne noted. King Mickey nodded.
Donald, set a course for Equestria. Riku, do you think you can get a message to them?
She shrugged. Beats me, Your Majesty. Oop! She crossed her legs. I just realized I haven't been to the bathroom all night, and I've had 3 pots of coffee. Really? Damn. Gotta pee really bad. Bye. Mickey laughed while Riku zipped off.
Don, can you?
Not unless someone wants to go outside and replace that transmitter gummy block Donald overloaded the moment you guys got back. Not unless someone wants to go outside and replace that transmitter gummy block Donald overloaded the moment you guys got back after the others went missing. That wasn't my fault, Donald quacked. That part was faulty.
And we don't know how to fix it anyway.
Goofy reasoned.
Sora's the one who read the manual on making fixes to the ship, so he's the only one we can trust, because none of us can read.
Of all of the people you entrusted with the manual, you entrusted Sora.
Yep. Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Just roll with it. Then I guess we'll just have to surprise them when we arrive in... He looked at Donald. Course set, engines ahead full. With the warp gummy out of commission too, we should be there in 6 days, 7 hours, and 8 minutes.
Wow, King Mickey, I didn't know that your voice could change like that.
Wait, that was Mickey's line?
Yep, that was Mickey's line.
Failure. I thought it was Donald.
Donald, take the helm. I'll come by to relieve you in 4 hours. Don, please take over radar scanning for Riku. I'm sure she'll want to sleep when the buzz from the coffee wears off. And my Bordeaux. The rest of us should probably relax for a while. We've got almost a week before we see him again, but at least we know where they are. And, knowing them, they're probably A-okay.
The way you said, and my Bordeaux. Yeah.
I like doing this. I can ad-lib something all I want, because it don't make sense.
You're really good at it, too.
I write the stuff.
Yes, I'm aware you write it. Minna laughed and craned her neck so she could peer at Link with her one visible eye. She cracked a knowing grin. See? I told you they'd be fine. Hopping off of his shoulder, Minna floated away through the air, laughing as Orville climbed up her arm proudly perch atop her orange hair. Nearly everyone else began leaving the bridge as well, but Princess Zelda stopped King Mickey before the two royals could descend the steps that led to the remainder of the ship. Your Majesty, may I speak with you for a moment?
Sure. What can I do you for, Zelda?
I was actually wondering if you might be able to continue my training while we waited to arrive in Equestria, Your Majesty. King Mickey smiled and nodded.
Sure thing. Let's go to the practice area. But you know, training at being a Keyblade wielder never stops, Zelda, even when you don't think you're training.
As they descended, Mickey was sure he heard Pain whisper to Yuna, Sora read a manual? Maybe there's hope for him yet.
Why haven't I talked yet? Grumbled Link.
Link isn't going to talk at all during this, is he?
I have no idea whether I'm going to talk or not. All I know is he's blocking me now.
I think it would actually be kind of funny if every time Link tries to talk, someone interrupts him.
There's a comment down there that says, why do I get the feeling this is only the first of many times you enforced Link's heroic mime status? And I'm like, it's probably going to go for a while. And I was actually thinking that I would have Link speak, and instead of Goofy, I would have Link talk with Nappa's voice, and then everyone would know, and this is why I don't talk, because nobody around me likes to hear my voice. I don't know why Lydia likes me, but not Lydia, sorry, Ilya. I don't know why Ilya likes me, but apparently she does. I had the best day ever, Vegeta. I sank their battleship and their whales.
We're doing that perfectly fine all on our own, thank you. Okay. The train gently rocked back and forth as it made its way through the mountains from Canterlot to the valley where Ponyville lay. Sora and Kairi had already been lulled into slumberland from the train's movement, while the ponies asked Riku and Rei more detailed questions about other worlds in the Heartless. Riku, in turn, asked Twilight and her friends more about Equestria, while Rei played with Spike and Pee-wee.
And here's Nappa.
Nappa is everywhere.
Okay, I'm gonna shut up with Nappa now. He's only gonna be the voice of Goofy.
Yes. Surprisingly, though, Twilight was silent for most of the ride, and every so often she would stare at the sleeping Pegasi for a time with a slight frown on her face. Hey, Twilight, is something wrong? Spike asked, looking up from where he was rubbing a certain baby phoenix's chin. I just can't wrap my head around it, she answered, not moving her eyes at all from their position. It's just not possible for Pegasus wings to become so strong so quickly. Tell me about it, Rainbow snorted, throwing the two slumbering Pegasi for a jealous glare. Do you think magic could have done it? Asked Applejack. Trixie shook her head quietly. Magic does have many uses, Applejack, but there is no known spell to enhance physical attributes so much. However, Trixie would not have expected you to know that. She sent a somewhat smug look the way of the orange earth pony, and Applejack looked like she was ready to retort. Why, of all the... Wait, Trixie, Twilight said, still peering at Kairi's wings. Magic could be the cause of it. Twilight Sparkle, there is no such magic that could cause this, Trixie firmly declared. There could be, Twilight pressed calmly. I've seen something like it before. Trixie gasped but said nothing, her eyes darting back and forth between Twilight and the wings of the sleeping Pegasi. Riku, Twilight began again. They said they were in the sculpture garden, right? He nodded his head.
Yeah?
Did they say anything when they came into the suite Princess Celestia lent you all last night? Anything about meeting any pony or something?
Apart from apologizing for waking me, no.
Riku said with a shake of his head. He paused. Revulsion struck his I've never known how to pronounce visage, okay. As a realization had just hit him with the subtlety of being slapped in the face with a rancid and wet sockeye salmon.
Wait, they forgot their key.
The unicorn suddenly growled.
Those morons! We have Keyblades! They could have unlocked the door themselves!
Riku's mad. We get it.
Keep reading. I'm gonna keep growling as ambience for Riku.
So they didn't say they met any pony? Twilight clarified. Riku continued to growl, but nodded his head anyway. Twilight, what are you thinking? Fluttershy asked. I'm not certain, Twilight began, but I'm beginning to suspect that whatever has affected their wings has to be some sort of chaos magic. Chaos magic? Applejack asked, confused. Her eyes suddenly widened. You don't mean... Rei looked away from Pee-wee towards the older ponies, concern now evident on her face. What is it? Is something wrong with my brother? Twilight gave Rei a smile she hoped was reassuring. The last thing that Twilight wanted was to have her new friends influenced by discord in any way. But even with the elements of harmony having turned him into stone, she wasn't going to take any chances. I'm not sure, Rei. I'm going to find out if discord is behind this or not. Discord? Pinky asked. But he can't do anything. We hit him with the rainbow and turned him into a statue. Can you think of any other reason for their wings to suddenly be as strong as they are? Cupcakes, duh, Pinky answered as if it were obvious, holding up one hoof. Every pony knows that a cupcake a day helps ponies grow.
Where did she get the cupcake from?
Oh, right, that's Riku's line. Riku asked Charlotte as Pinky devoured the cupcake that had appeared in her hooves. It's Pinkie Pie, Rainbow Dash answered with a shrug. Just ignore it. Twilight shook her head at the pink earth pony and prepared to cast a detection spell over Sora and Kairi, her horn beginning to glow with magenta light. The magenta glow covered the two Pegasi, and Twilight closed her eyes as she felt the information from the spell entering her brain. There was obviously some form of magical tampering with their wings. That much was clear from the preliminary examination. She focused, and the light dimmed from the majority of their bodies and grew more intense around their wings. There's definitely something here, but what is this? It doesn't feel like Discord's magic at all. And since when has he ever been helpful in the first place? Wait, no. It does feel familiar, but... No, that can't be right. She snapped her eyes open and canceled the spell, staring back in shock at the slumbering Pegasi.
What is it?
Riku asked. Is it Discord's doing? Applejack added. Twilight slowly shook her head, rubbing it with a hoof. She knew what she'd felt, but it didn't make any sense either, and it was infuriating. Something like this couldn't be possible at all, or shouldn't be possible at all. No, it's not him. I don't know how I'm going to say this, girls, but it's some form of harmonious magic that developed in their wings overnight. Harmonious magic? Rainbow Dash asked, thoroughly confused. Do you suppose that has something to do with the elements of harmony? Fluttershy posed, looking down at the necklace that she was wearing. That's what it feels like, Twilight answered slowly. But I know that we haven't used the elements since Discord, and I don't think that simply being around their physical forms is something that would trigger a physical change. Do you suppose it could be Princess Celestia? Trixie asked. Again, Twilight shook her head. No, it didn't feel like Princess Celestia's magic, though there were a couple of similarities to it, in a way. She gritted her teeth, forcing back the frustrated scream her belly was dying to release. The magic wrapped... I had to yawn, it's getting late.
Yep.
The magic wrapped so lovingly around their wings, well, Sora's anyway, Kyrie's not as much, had several degrees of familiarity to her. But she'd never seen them used in such a way, or in perfect synchronization before. And there was still another, larger element within the spell matrix that she'd never ever felt or even knew existed before. It was foreign, alien, and wonderfully exciting and vexing to her for no end. It better not be a seventh element of harmony.
Oh, it's not.
Good.
It really actually has nothing to do with the elements of harmony.
Okay. All I needed confirmation was that it wasn't a seventh element of harmony, because that's like the stupidest plot point ever.
Seventh element of harmony. Like, I would do something as trite as that.
I'm glad. I am really, really glad. Because, like, there's always just that little bit of worry. Always leave margin for error.
There was, like, after the first couple of chapters and everything, and then when Ray was introduced, it was like, no OCs, no! And I'm like, dude, this is Sora here. Sora, with his kid sister, on an adventure to, like... He knows how freaking dangerous this is. Wouldn't he bring this kid along if there was not a really fucking good reason for him to bring her?
Yeah, I remember looking through the comments section on that, and I think I saw a few people who actually decided they weren't going to read it solely because Ray was in it.
Oh, no, they were like, I'm going to try and give it a chance, but you have just dropped a lot, and I'm like, whoa. Give her a chance. Right, you guys still don't know me, but give her a chance.
Yeah.
I'm not this dumb.
Yeah, you definitely. Seriously, this is amazing writing. Okay.
Vexing her to no end.
Yeah, I know. Riku, do you know of anything that could cause this?
Your guess is as good as mine, Twilight.
He answered, completely oblivious to the inner scholar raging within the element of magic.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
He raised a hoof and struck Sora on the back of the head with it. Sora jolted awake immediately, and now he's gonna catch hell. Ow, he hissed. Instantly rushing his hoof to the top of his head to protect it, and to rub the spot in an attempt to make it better. What happened?
You moron!
Riku snorted.
You guys get back from your date late, and you choose to wake me up instead of summoning your own Keyblades to unlock the freaking door?
Sora stared at him before laughing sheepishly. Oops, that was our bad. Sorry, Riku. Ow! The brown Pegasus had barely finished his last exclamation of pain before he found a certain lavender unicorn's muzzle uncomfortably close to his own, extremely wide violet eyes attempting to rival the largest pancakes he'd ever seen as they gazed into his soul. "Your wings have the most interesting magic surrounding them," Twilight murmured, her voice deceptively quiet with how it reverberated around the car. Her horn became sheathed in magenta, and Sora gulped as he felt the blanket of fear wrap around his leg. "I must study them." Or his being. Why did I say leg?
There's no
what the hell?
Anywhere.
What the hell was that? I think it might be because I'm getting tired.
It might be because it's 3:05 a.m. where you are.
It's 2:05 there, right?
It's 1:05. I'm in the prairies. I'm in mountain time.
Right.
You're on Eastern time.
Yes. We've been at this for 6 hours.
5:15.
Yeah. Well, close. It's close enough.
Yeah.
Around Sora gulped as he felt the blanket of fear wrap around his entire being. "I must study them. Tell me what you know. I don't know anything."
Come on, you can do a voice better than that. It's like, "I must study them. Tell me what you know."
I'm not a voice actor.
I'm not a voice actor either. But
yes, but at least you're better at it than I am.
Oh, thank you. It's like, "I must study them. Tell me what you know." "I don't know anything, I swear!"
Yeah, that was pretty much how I was going to say that.
Okay.
He yelped, pushing Twilight's sparkle back. He scrambled to his hooves and leaped into the air, beating his magically strengthened wings for all they were worth as Twilight gave chase with manic intent in her eyes. You will tell me your secrets!
I have many secrets, none of which you or my mother will ever hear about!
Oh, yeah, that last little bit, that was hilarious. So, that's the end of the chapter, and that's the end of the backlog.
Yep.
Oh, yes, it feels so good to finally have this done. So, that was Chapter 11, I was about to say magic plans, what? No, travel plans.
Chapter 2.
Yeah.
Travel plans. Done and done.
Yes. So,
Fight
see you.
for the Alliance. Die, Horde, die. May the grace of the Valor protect you, so long as you're not Horde.
Well, see you next time for whichever the next chapter is.
Yeah, the next chapter will be titled Welcome to Ponyville, and we're going to see a villain.
Okay, then. See you all next time.
Bye, everybody.